reporting. Red 10 standing by.
Red 3 standing by.
Red 6 standing by.
Red 9 standing by.
Red 2 standing by.
Red 11 standing by.
Red 5 standing by.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is our 9th episode, being recorded August 2nd, 2017, and we are 134 days away from standing in line for The Last Jedi. I'm your host, Darth Moocher, and I'm here with the Fallen Fett.
Hey guys, what's up? It's the Fallen Fett here. Thanks for jumping in line with us one more time. We are live right now on IG. Be sure and check that out next time if you're not already following us. Just a little intro to what we do. So once again, thanks for jumping in line with us. In line today, we got the one and only Bootleg Joe.
Hi. I can feel your energy from 2 planets away. I got my drink. I got my boys. So, bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Okay, move to the back of the line.
Move it to the back of the line.
No, and also joining us as always is DartDad77. And, of course, the one and only Fanboy Mike.
It's trick to rock a rhyme. That's right, on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. Brr, what up, yo? What's up?
There's Fives back at it again. Wow, nice intro, guys. So we got lots to cover. Actually, we got one main subject to cover. But first, San Diego Comic-Con ended the last week, and our Fallen Fett was there. So what did you find out? Anything Star Wars related? I know there was some toy news. It was kind of quiet in the Star Wars front, wasn't it?
Yeah, because of D23
Correct.
And them not showing any presence there. It was really hard to come across anything. You had a lot of the book news of what was coming out,
Okay.
the coming comics, but it was all stuff that we already knew.
Right.
The biggest thing was toy news and toy unveils. If you were following us that day, I went live on Toy Migos to show they had just pulled out the Star Wars stuff after they talked about it. And the biggest news is what they're doing with Marvel Legends as far as the face concept to the digital face scan and everything.
Right.
They are now moving forward on the Black Series.
Just the Black Series.
Yes.
And that's from now on, or the next release.
It's going to start in February.
Okay.
So we got a couple waves coming out, and then it will start in February. Our first look was at the Rey figure, and then we got a look at the Captain Rex coming out.
Captain Rex looked amazing.
Which also, real quick news, is going to be an exclusive at HasCon. Well, it's going to be an early release exclusive. He's going to get the box. HasCon's going on in September at Rhode Island. It's going to be the first Hasbro con that they have.
Got it. Okay.
Calling it HasCon.
Is it going to be available for us, anybody to purchase like online? They can have that
Right now, we don't know.
Okay.
Hasbro Toy Shop keeps moving their day back for all the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives.
Yeah.
So for those of you who weren't able to get them, still check it out. Right now, the rumor is September.
And it was August 14th.
It was
wasn't it?
August. Now it got moved to September,
Okay.
which could coincide with Force Friday.
Right.
So really
Hurt in the
good way-
pocketbook
That's
there.
what I was going to say.
Jeez.
Great way to stick it to us.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of disappointing, but we'll see.
Especially
so then,
me now. I'm just all over it, man. Okay. Yeah.
So far, the only Star Wars news, though, that is good that's coming out of there is that. So it's just going to come in a special box package, but it would be really nice to get that Captain Rex.
Got it.
So the only thing that I saw that was different on that Captain Rex that was really cool was on his helmet was number markings for, like, kills.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of wondering, shout out to Fwoosh Robo. He was down there, and we were conversating about it. We don't know where that came from. I had to ask the Canon Master. I was waiting to ask Chris, where did he have tally marks on his helmet?
Shit. I was Instagramming. Who are we talking about?
Captain Rex.
The new figure has
The
like,
new
hash
figure-
marks on the side.
You know what? It had a lot of gold on it, too, from what I saw, right?
Right, yeah. It was like a different design. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know, because the gold threw me off, so I'm not even sure about the
Upcoming
hash marks.
comic. I can smell it now. Upcoming comic or book about Rex.
I'll have to
And-
look at it, yeah.
No, Five's coming through with a picture, and he does have markings on him. The tally marks.
Interesting. Like I said, comic.
No
book
gold.
baby.
It was the
Years.
gold that caught me. I didn't even check
Right.
the hashes.
Right.
Oh, yeah, tons of them.
So, very cool. We're getting a face scan of the actor who played Jango Fett, which is the basis for all the clones. So they're
Correct.
giving him the Rex hair color. And
it looks,
that's coming
looks
out.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it looks amazing.
I'm
going
about to see
forward.
what the hash marks are for, because they're obviously not for droid kills, right? He killed a lot more than.
Correct.
That was probably 40.
Right.
hash marks on that helmet.
So it'll be a good subject to come up
Yeah, they're
for our next
fallen
show.
clones.
Or if you guys know, drop us a comment on our IG.
What's your theory on the hash marks? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Drop a comment on our IG, Facebook, or our Twitter, which you can also find us on Twitter now. We just got that started, guys. So that was it. That basically came out was just the new. Of course, we got another picture of Hera coming out, and hopefully that does surface. We've been getting her since last year.
Yeah.
We saw her, Maz Kanata,
Right.
Rebel Trooper, who looked just like Han.
About time, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the old man trooper.
It is, but the
gray
face
hair.
looked like Han. That's what
It
we
could
didn't
be.
get. I mean,
Yeah.
because they're in person
Yeah.
and looking at it, it looked like old man Han's face.
Yeah.
Where they didn't have the face sculpt, so they just threw on old man Han.
It could be.
We
and
didn't
they just
know.
kind of added some sideburns.
Right, exactly.
And
that's
how
all you
many
had
are
to do.
how many are like Joe you're going to get because you want to take a photo of those? Those are going to be, to me, the scarcest figure because they're coming out with the old man trooper.
Correct.
Everybody's looking for those, and to have like a diorama scene, whatever, you're going to have like
You
different.
need an army build.
You need an army build on those.
Yeah, but it's harder to do with that when they're human because they're all
Well,
gonna
you're
have
gonna have
the
to
same face.
like I said, the
Yeah,
repainting.
you can paint on a goatee, a beard, and stuff like that. But
yeah.
they're cheap.
I just
so why
foresee
not?
that being like they're already scarce in the stores now when they come out, but I foresee that the Blockade Runner Trooper is going to be the scarcest because of that of variations. People are going to want to customize their own and for photography and everything
correct.
else. So
And an easy mod to always do is just pop on somebody's head.
yeah,
If you're using them for
Oh,
a shot
true,
or
yeah.
in the background, you can have a Finn Rebel Trooper. It's just a side shot.
Right.
So you just got to pop on the head, hoping that the head is the same head socket, and then you pop it on.
right.
and that's what you can do.
Interesting. Yeah.
But Comic-Con was a lot of fun.
How do you guys do that when they're in the box? Just curious.
Wow, Mike.
That's
You
what I've
haven't
seen.
learned.
I can't.
You have not learned.
Yeah. I'm slowly learning, so I got to buy like doubles.
Right.
But the Maz Kanata looked cool. I like that she comes with the box.
Right.
She comes with the hilts. That was a nice reveal. We are getting a do-back.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I
with
had
the
shot
trooper.
that shot. God, like last year sometime when I was at Disneyland, they had a rubber one that kind of met up to the standards.
Got it,
You know,
yeah.
just for a shot purpose only. But to see that we're getting that now, that's cool.
Wow.
So that was probably my favorite thing to see. The land speeder that was the exclusive is beautiful.
Sure.
It's nice. The
Sure.
Thrawn packaging was great.
Yeah.
And the Rey and Luke was
A lot of exclusives,
awesome.
man. I have a love-hate relationship with exclusives just because I can't get them.
And the last one was the Commander Kree. That's gonna
Right.
Toys R Us has that one. A little bit easier to obtain if you
Okay.
didn't order it already. Check your stores; they should be coming back in.
Okay.
But a lot of networking. A lot of people gave us love. Saw the shirt and knew who we were. That
Cool.
was great. It was a great. It was a great subject to talk about when they saw it and they wanted to know what was up. I mean, there's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
You're waiting in line, and I hope that they check us out. If you're one of the new ones now listening or following, let us know that you were at Comic-Con, that you saw me, or so be it, and give us a shout out. You
Yeah.
know, and we'll do the same.
Definitely.
I wore mine at Target, so if you were at Target and happened to see me, give me a shout out. I was in the toy section.
Well, guys, I have a story leading up to that. I forgot the whole last episode. We were in so much talk and everything. I wanted to sit and talk with you guys about what we're doing and how well this is taking off. Mad love to Chris, who's been hitting up our IG with tons of stuff and getting us lots of new followers. So we welcome all of you if this is your first pod that you're listening to because of Chris. But also as a whole to all of us, lots of love because we are getting known out there and we are something different to the fans because I was noticed by 3 different people in one day for the shirt.
That's
I
awesome.
saw a kid who listened to us and he enjoyed it. He said we were very funny. He liked it. He made a comment about Bootleg Joe. He likes your take on things. He agrees with you a lot.
No.
Grumpy little kids.
Much evil in our young ones.
I saw a Target worker who also is a fellow podcaster who I had the shirt on. He didn't know that I was a part of it. And also one of our guests who we had on, he knew him, and we started conversing, and he was going to check us out. So that's great. He does a Walking Dead podcast.
Yeah.
So it's great that our network is working,
Yeah.
out there.
Definitely.
And then I saw who I'm going to call them the LA couple. So little dude, if you're listening, you should have said hi because Yes, that was me. So I walked by this couple and I call him an LA couple because he was short with a hot model girlfriend. And he then gets elbowed by the girl and she says, "Isn't that the show that you listen to?" And he laughs and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't know they make shirts. I'm going to have to get me one of those." And I chuckled to myself because I was like, whoa, check this shit out.
Nice.
That's awesome. I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you and all your nerd stuff." That's what she commented to him, so I didn't say anything more. But, hey, man, that was the Fallen Fett, and thanks for listening. And thank you to all you guys for listening. But it was cool to meet all you guys at Comic-Con. We got some love there. Yes, not a whole lot of news, but hopefully something comes up. But what do we have news-wise?
Well, it's coming, right? So, I mean, again, we always say, were these leaked on purpose or were these leaked photos? We have a whole set of photos that were leaked. I think we're like 6 or 7 of them. We've got a new versions of Luke Skywalker, old, with the new get-up. We've got Rey. We've got Phasma, Kylo. So there's like a slate of photographs that came out. So I know that we blew up Instagram and started conversing with everybody that's on there, and we, of course, with ourselves and everything. And I think the most important take was the Snoke in the flesh, photo that we got.
No pun intended.
Right. So I know that, like I said, you brought up a great point, Ernie, and our whole thing is trying to get a really good conversation going with everybody out there. So it's not just the 5 of us sitting in a room. It's everybody. So we're out there in Instagram, on Facebook all the time looking for conversations to bring up. And I know Chris has a few that he wants to shout out a little bit.
Instagram is our line talk.
Yeah.
You guys are right in line with us. You know what it's like. There's hundreds of you in line. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is just another way for you guys to jump in on the conversation at any time. And by doing that, Chris has some names to shout out.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot. I've been conversing with a lot of people. We got a lot of good feedback from several folks that are really loyal to the podcast, or at least to the IG page. And I want to say like Nat Awesome 8311, Dave Melendez, artist, all-star Star Wars fans from England, has been chatting us up and talking
super
across
dope.
the pond. Been awesome.
Mate.
And Paul Stevenson. We've had a lot of good conversations through a lot of different posts with these guys. But there was one post we said if you'd bring some things up, we'd bring them up on the podcast, and we're going to do that real quick here.
Yeah.
Cool Eddie 70_74. Thoughts on the Solo flick, which I think we've covered the last 2 episodes, right? Thoroughly. So if you want that, you want to check back on with us. But his other question was, do we think we might have a chance of meeting Chewie's family in the Solo flick?
I'm going to say no, because I think we're going to be too far removed from that origins of Chewie, and it's going to be one of those things where Chewie's going to be intertwined in the story already, and Han's going to come across him. So I don't think it's going to be going that depth into Chewie. That's me, though.
Fallen Fett agrees with Mooch. Yeah, I don't think so. What Chewie right now is supposed to be 800?
Some.
Correct?
7 or
300.
8, yeah.
No,
300, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yoda's 800.
Yeah, Yoda's not.
Yeah.
We need to
In the
check
old
that.
EU
I could
and
have
all that
swore
stuff
that
is
just
3.
today I heard
He's
that
3.
he was 800.
He's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still old, so I don't think so either.
He's wicked old, yeah.
Fanboy?
And he's like a teenager at 300.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to. I mean, that would be super dope. I mean, why not? I mean, tell a small story. I mean, give a little glimpse on him, right? No?
Right.
Maybe.
Hey, Joe, why do you hate that?
We've met them in the 70s, and that was good enough for me.
In what?
We're not talking about Itchy.
I'm talking about that busted up grandpa and that
Chaka wannabe?
Yeah.
Well, the one.
Tell
Sorry,
you what,
Chris,
here's why it might happen.
Yeah, we met the family before, so let's move on.
Here's why it might happen. Because in Aftermath Life Debt, they do go back and liberate Kashyyyk.
Right.
Kashyyyk.
And Chewie meets up with his
and
family.
Chewie meets up and saves his son. Spoiler alert. Sorry, that was a little late on that.
And
right?
they saved Christmas.
But which means they knew it existed, which means Han saved him from either Kashyyyk or from being a slave. We haven't figured out what he saved him from yet in the new canon, right? But we do know that he does have a family. Is it possible that he got away and we see him escaping without the family, or the family getting taken from him and then Han saving him? It's a possibility in a quick flashback scene, something small, or at least a throwback to it or a mention of it.
Sure.
But I don't think there'll be a big story.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, wasn't the son with one of the Hutts in a Slave Leia costume? Correct?
I think that was a fan fiction.
Those have not yet to be released.
Sorry.
Those pictures are not out.
I saw. I was reading the wrong book then.
All right.
What
those
sites
forum
do you
letters.
go on? All right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Star Wars Warfare asking what we're looking forward to on Force Friday this year.
Mooch here, more Black Series, because I'm head over heels on it, and I need more.
Fallen Fett sales, buy one get one. That's the hell I'm looking for.
That too.
I'd like to see a sizzle trailer. What happened?
Shit.
Did I miss
Force
it?
Friday.
You missed the trailer?
No.
We talked about it last
Han
episode. Weren't you
Solo.
here? Oh.
Han Solo sizzle. Something.
Gotcha.
Something.
We won't see Han.
No, that's
after.
Force Friday. Not,
Something.
it'll be before that, maybe.
We won't.
Boop.
Being broke.
Yeah, look forward to being broke.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
In all honesty,
Yeah.
I think I really want the I want the Poe helmet. That's supposed to be released.
Oh, okay.
His Poe Dameron's flight
Oh, I
helmet.
saw that, yeah.
I want that, and then probably our friend Victor Snoke with you're able to go
Theodore.
ahead and
Theodore Snoke.
Yeah, you're able to finger bang his neck.
Yikes.
I want that feature. That photo was hot, dude. That's
That
all I
one
can
got me
stop
off.
thinking about.
That's surprising.
You can't tell me you guys thought about it.
That was
I
straight
did not think, wow.
meat curtains, dude.
That is. I don't understand what
With his
happened.
V-neck.
Chris,
Holy
are you
shit.
looking for anything on Force Friday?
I don't know anymore. We're going to go with, well, I'm a pop collector, right?
Yeah,
So I'm looking
right.
forward to pops. I would love, okay, hopefully they knock out the Jedi here on this next box. Okay, if they do the Jedi with Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan and Anakin, something like that, I'll be okay, or Coyote Mundi, something like that in this next box. But
We've got an Obi-Wan already.
if not, yeah, but I want young Obi-Wan.
Okay, I
Like,
got you.
yeah, younger.
All right, okay.
What I would like is a Knights of Ren pop set. Three of the Knights of Ren, kind of show them that
If
way.
they're in the episode 8, then I would say,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking like Force Friday, that's going to be all Force Last Jedi stuff.
Yeah,
That's
non-exclusive at Funko. Can we
Nothing
just,
else but Last
make
Jedi
that
stuff.
easily, readily
That's
available.
what they've been.
Yeah,
It's
so
nothing
it might
with
be
that.
just Last Jedi themed. Across the board.
It's going to
Yeah.
be, but
We'll see.
it's hard because then you can't supposedly reveal a lot. Now,
Right.
going into that, we've had a huge reveal from Jack's Pacific. They've showed the what's the correct term for
The
his
Praetorian-
guards?
Praetorian Guard.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to say it wrong.
I'm sure I said it wrong.
Pituitary gland or something like that. I don't know.
Pituitary Guard.
Yeah. So those guys, and they all have a very unique look,
Yeah.
which will bring us to some line talk later.
Yeah.
But also there was
Mike
the
grew
3 3/4 line was also revealed,
Right.
And we got to see some new characters. We got to see, which I believe that's Rose's sister. So she
one of the
must,
pilots?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
okay.
pilot. She must play an important part. We saw Rose. We got to see some of their accessories that they come with.
Right.
So
Chewie
yes,
with a
he
with
has a porg.
A porg. Why
So
does Chewie have a porg?
Because
Well,
you've
he's on
seen
the
the, you've seen the
island,
book, right? The little kids book, Chewie and the
kidding me,
Porgs.
dude?
Chewie.
Yeah.
Was that real?
That's for real. Yeah, it's like a little kids book coming
yeah,
out.
that's really
That's
going to
be on the canon timeline.
Man, they're
That'll be
really
up
making
later.
Chewie just kind of like a lovable teddy bear, isn't he?
Fuck,
He's not
yeah.
ripping no arms off anybody.
Well, then
now.
you see, I think there was another picture. Oh, on the pinball machine had R2 covered in Porgs.
Yes.
I
Right,
get that
I get
because
that.
R2 is lovable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So-
Obviously. Well, then there's also a picture
Oh.
of we seen a long shot of Chewie by the Falcon with a fire, probably roasting Porgs.
That's
That's
more
what we
like
can
it.
only hope.
Oh, Wookiee's got to
I
eat.
can guarantee you I will buy it only specifically so I can do that, dude.
Yeah,
So we can make a shot of him. That's what he was doing.
Yes.
So Boots looking at Force Friday as the porgs, so he can have some interesting
roasted.
shots.
Hey,
Yeah.
just to go off topic on that for a second, I hope they're not the Gungans. I hope they're not some kind of thing that everybody gets annoyed by. I wasn't annoyed
Right.
by. I've never been annoyed by Ewoks. I know everybody has
No,
Ewok
I
hate
love
all of a
Ewoks.
sudden, right? Like I see a lot of negativity about Ewoks and this and that, and teddy bears beating stormtroopers. I always thought that was a
Please.
great thing.
I don't know.
Great.
They're
But-
going to have to play something. We're kind of getting pushed with it. You guys
Yeah.
have checked out the Star Wars show lately, which is the official Star Wars show.
Right.
They've had 2 episodes
They are.
talking about porgs.
Yeah, well, and I
So,
think they're big.
the
And
plush
and I know
animals,
there's
they're gonna have to
something
sell a
else,
billion
and
of
we
them.
talked about it a little bit. And shoot, one of the lore folks on Instagram. I'll look at his name up in a second. But we had a conversation about it. What those were. Went on Rebels.
Correct.
How we had one on Bendu, and we have one on for most time on Sabine's shoulder.
Yeah, we made
I still
the comment
think
that
those.
we were being fed him.
I still think that's no pun intended, because somebody's going to be feeding on porgs. But I think that might have been an early design for these guys for porgs, and that's what they were going to look like, an owl-like creature.
Right.
And then they changed it completely into
Could be.
the character.
I want to say at first that I do believe that Luke's glove is porg skin.
Porg skin.
That'd be nice.
Shit.
Nice, Mike.
No, I was just thinking that it was just one of those things where they can channel in on some of the kids and give them plush toys. It really is. It would
there
be
is
it
a
would be
big
that
selling
idea.
factor.
There will be a porg
Absolutely.
Furby.
That is why they made the Ewoks in the first
Glowworms,
place.
or no? What were they called?
It was
Furby.
a
Marketing,
It was a
absolutely.
marketing.
No,
ploy
the
towards kids.
little things that glowed when you were younger. Glowworm. Yeah, like that. It's like it's going in that idea.
All right, Chris. Next, do we have another one?
All right, and then Master Plagueis, who was actually on a little while
Glowworms.
ago watching us with our super enthusiastic intros. Master Plagueis wants to talk about Snoke, and is he the dark side of Anakin that survived, similar to Revan in Legend?
This is going to be a big theme of our show here, Snoke. So he's asking if Snoke is the dark side entity of Anakin manifested.
Like Anakin lived. Like part of Anakin lived, and that's how it's manifested. Yes.
Very interesting. That's very interesting. And going with a few of the games in the gaming world, the dark side of the Force does have an entity, a dark side entity that takes over as the Emperor. That's a good theory. That's an interesting theory, and I would like to kind of see what you guys' thoughts on it. Like, go around the room here real fast.
Okay, so mine is then that, again, we play back to, if that was true, the only way I could see that happening is the Clone Wars episode that I've talked about before, the light and the dark.
Right.
Having the daughter and the son. So if he is just the dark side, then that would have to mean that Rey is the light side.
Is the counter to it.
Correct.
Right.
And they keep getting, maybe Rey keeps getting reborn.
Ooh, maybe we should just jump into the Snoke talk now.
And that, this is what we do. And then that, I've heard a lot of rumors of that going around that I could get to what he's saying, but also because that they want to throw in the idea of that he can manifest into another body. And some people have said that exact theory, but then that he's using Kylo so that he can become Kylo, a younger body.
Here we go. We're going to jump in right now because I think that's where the whole Snoke talk was going to go today that we've been kind of holding off for the last 3 weeks.
Chris has been biting his tongue for a few weeks now.
Because, here's the thing. As I study a lot of the things online, and I go through the stuff that's been talked about and supposedly leaked, and I think there's just like legends getting told generation by generation or stories or myths, there's some truth in everything. Right. And I think that's where we're sitting here is you're going to piece together what's going on. And I do think it's part of the entity or the dark side that's moving along. Okay. Or the Plagueis piece. Because Plagueis is obviously the biggest rumor out there that, Snoke is Plagueis.
Right.
And to a point, I think it's going to end up being true. But I want to use the movies as proof of something that's happening.
Okay. It is.
So let's start with Palpatine and how you see him through the first 2.5 episodes and how he looks and how his change looked in episode 3. Right. And as he's talking in episode 3 to Anakin about Darth Plagueis and being able to survive, he gets that smirk on his face. And it's a little bit different than you've seen him before. Now he's mischievous. Now he's changing a little bit. I'm thinking that the entity has been in him the whole time, right?
Right.
The entity's in there either dormant
right.
or kind of hiding and biding its time until the right exact moment.
Right.
Well, that right moment comes up later when Mace Windu's in there.
Right.
Okay, so when he's fighting Mace Windu and getting the lightning shot back, I don't think those are scars. I don't think he's being burnt. He's not smoking after, and his ass jumped right up after the fight.
Right.
I mean, like literally jumped right up.
Oh, you should play SWTOR.
That is the manifestation of the dark side.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
The dark side just came out. This is the spirit there. The spirit is now Plagueis. Because what else happened? That's my ice machine. That was pretty loud. Open the door.
Yes.
Wow.
Bit of a distraction. That's okay.
So there we go. So he's changed now because his voice was even different, right? Then it became all raspy and
you're right.
Lord Vader.
Okay.
So now he's a whole different character. He went from being Palpatine to the Emperor, but not just that. He's either Plagueis or he's the dark side. He's something else.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah, dark side.
So now we go into the original trilogy and we get all the way to Return of the Jedi. And when Vader throws the Emperor down the shaft, what happens? You know what happens?
He explodes.
What comes up?
The blue light.
Blue energy.
Light, yeah. Blue
okay.
Energy, yeah.
There's your entity again, escaping through because he thought he had it all done. He didn't see the change, but he was ready for it in his contingency plan.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So through the books and aftermath, you'll know that Palpatine had sensed this extremely powerful being or entity in the unknown region, and he sent Thrawn out, and
right.
Operation Cinder has the fleet going out there to find this, and they found a route through uncharted space, and they're going out for this super powerful entity. Well, he didn't want to go to it while he was alive. He's the backup plan, right? So he's using Palpatine, the Death Star, Vader, and everything else. If it fails, which it might one day fail, then the spirit is to go meet up with the fleet, meet up with this super powerful entity, which is Snoke. Palpatine was powerful before he had the entity in him. right? They use the most powerful thing around.
Right.
So that's the next most powerful thing is going to be Snoke or more powerful. So the entity goes to Snoke. So Snoke might have looked normal.
Right,
Like,
and then
like
it manifested
Palpatine
and
did.
It all
It
jacked
got
up.
into Snoke,
wow,
something happened,
yeah.
he manifests.
Sure.
Now he's all fucked up, looking like a Force tree on one side. And,
Nice. This is like I said, I play SWTOR the MMO, and
Mm-hmm.
the idea of the Emperor bouncing around as an energy,
Yeah.
that is the core of that game as far as who the Emperor is.
Yeah.
So it kind of plays into that. And
So was
that's-
he always the Emperor, or was he a different entity? Was he Plagueis?
The Emperor is always the entity. Yeah, so it's like if the Emperor is out there, it's always like this dark side energy spirit,
Yeah.
which will jump bodies until it's destroyed and jump again and do things.
So I think through all the other talk, the theories, the stuff, and hearing about the Rey piece and the light side and being reborn and all this manifestation and changing,
So
Go ahead.
in your theory, then we'll go around and see other guys' thoughts here. You got a dark side entity coming through. Is the same thing happening in the light?
I think
the chosen
so.
one theory is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, I think
Ray
that's how-
being Luke and everything, and not Luke. Sorry, Ray being the light side of the version of this entity you're talking about. And then there's a dark side. So when Luke is in the trailer and he's like, "There's so much more. There's like more out there." Not versus light and dark. There's more out there. Is this what you're referring to?
Yeah,
Like
because
he's
they said they're
discovering-
going to break all the rules and they're going to change things up, and it's going to be stuff we've never seen before
Right.
on film.
It makes sense that the entity would be like I said, a dark sided energy, and a jump. Now Snoke has this, or that he's the creature now. He's this manifestation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing is, and when you have all these the comics leaning towards the gray and the stuff that we don't know, you have Rebels talking about Bendu and all this stuff, and in Clone Wars they talked about the brother, the sister, the light, the dark, the
Right.
father. I think it's all been leading to this point where we see different stuff, and we've seen a lot of weird things if you look at Clone Wars and Rebels specifically because it's animated. You think if I'm watching this and it was a movie, I wouldn't buy it, right? Or I don't know how they would do the brother, sister, father. I don't know how they would pull that off. The
Right.
Night Sisters, even to a point. A lot of this stuff is really hard to see in live action, but I think they're going to try and pull it off here in 8
Yeah.
and 9.
Okay, I like that a lot. I get what you're saying. I can get to that. My only then question to you would be, I see what you're saying. So then hence the definition of Plagueis figured out a way to live forever. That
Possibly,
was
yeah.
because then, so you move,
Or
the
he
dark
just
side
realized
entity.
it. Or he had studied enough to realize it was happening. Like this could be going on since Bane, since
Correct.
Revan, since everybody. But he's the one that figured it out. Oh,
correct.
I'm going to live
So
forever.
that's why he has it, and then it moved on
Yeah.
to Palpatine. He becomes it, and then like you said, he died and lifted up.
They kind
So-
of become a little bit of everybody, right? So when Palpatine, when the
Correct.
energy got Palpatine, now he's a little bit of Plagueis. He's a little bit of Bane.
Correct.
A little bit of Revan. A little bit of all these people. I remember Revan was almost canon in Clone Wars.
Right.
Almost in the Father of the
He will be.
in that piece. They almost had him speaking there as a
Yeah.
ghost, but they didn't want to. Filoni and Lucas didn't want to bring up Dark Force users becoming Force ghosts at that point. They thought it would screw up the story. They had Bane and Revan.
Yeah, it's
speaking to the.
It's on
speaking to
their
them.
chalkboard.
Yes,
You're right. We
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
the blue come up when he
Right.
was there. Now, my only question to you then, if Rey is the light, when Vader died and he was supposedly the chosen one, when they burned him, did we see something come out of those?
No,
No.
but because Vader wouldn't be the entity at all. It's all about Palpatine. It's all about
Well, he's in the light
No,
side.
I'm
On
saying
that
the
side.
light side.
Oh, the light
He was
side.
supposed to
No,
be the chosen one because where'd it come from? It's not
Either-
Luke.
Well,
Luke is our hope. Luke
Maybe-
could save it, bring balance, right?
right.
So if we had a dark and a light, then the light could have been Vader. He went wrong, Anakin.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, maybe the
'Cause you're saying
light was
whole
dissipated
time-
at that time. Maybe it had yet to
Well-
manifest, and now we catch up to the Force Awakens era, where now Snoke is
just came
this
back?
new thing, and now Rey is this waited
It
for
just
Rey
came
to
back,
come,
right?
something like that, or it had to wait to manifest. What do you?
I
what do
can
you-
get that. I only want to know then where did Rey come from?
If,
Right.
there's a,
Because
if,
we
if it's
know-
light and dark, if it's the same
right.
thing.
That's
If-
what I'm saying.
yeah.
So
Right,
then
right.
who was the light before that?
Yeah, because it might not work the same way. Maybe it's a whole different way the light side works. You
I was
know?
going to speak on that. I'm sorry, Ernie, I didn't even cut you off, but I was going to speak on that. It's like I don't see that the idea of the light taking over. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we
It's
can
the
say
Neo
I
version,
understand that, but like you can say like if we're to talk about spiritual things, like it being sort of the devil, if you would. I don't
Sure.
have another word for it, but if it was like a spirit that was to take over another body, I can see that happening to where now the person manifests the ideas of evil or whatever it is that's going to further its living, right? But
the
I
devil
don't see that with the
manifests
light, right?
and becomes more evil and more
Right. I
evil,
don't- I
while
don't
the good is ultimately good.
Right,
And
and so it doesn't take over. It just gives like okay, so we see Luke and he's got the books and he's on what's the word Octu, but he's going through that whole thing where he's
the Barrage Vow.
Right, the Barrage Vow. And so
we're assuming.
So he's like, yeah, we're assuming that, but he's reading books, and so he's actually just reading and he's understanding, and so he has the Force ghosts that are. Well, we hope the Force ghosts are there and he's kind of like talking in between them.
Yeah, had you guys not heard our theory on the Force ghost yet? Did we talk about that? How we hope there's a Force ghost council.
Oh yeah,
on
we mentioned
on our
it
last
time.
one. Yeah,
because if there's not a Mace, a Qui-Gon, an Obi-Wan, and a Yoda surrounding. Luke's
so
gonna be upset.
for Luke it's more or less he's learning and he's understanding through the books and everything. For the dark side it's more I can get with you, Chris, like it's like Bane going way back, or Pelagus, or to Sidious, to and is transferring all these different forces, or not even forces, but the power to the next,
their mentality, their everything,
all the way to Snoke.
I think that's why Palpatine had that funny look. He couldn't save himself from dying because nobody can.
Right.
They're all going to die. Palpatine's going to die and he knows it, but they're all going to live on within each other. But he thinks it's funny that's how he didn't realize what was going on, or did that's the way he's going to live forever.
Boot, you got a theory on this?
I'm gonna go back to Revenge of the Sith. That part when Palpatine, when he first, it's right after they kill Mace Windu. When he puts his hood over his head,
right,
he starts to talk. It sounds like there's two people talking.
You're right. He had you're right. It got deep.
And there's two people talking.
That's a good point right there. That's a good point.
That's what I was saying. His voice changed. His whole character changed right after that. Right? And you could say it was the electricity or whatever, but that fool popped right up.
He did. No, you're right. And
he wasn't hurt at all.
At all.
And my thing is,
Palpatine may have died. Palpatine may have died right there, as far as we know. And this entity came
it just took over?
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything wrong with him at all.
Well, let me ask you this. Go into this thing where I said you can't kill it, or nobody knows how to kill it. Will there ever be a time frame in the galaxy that's peaceful, where there's no?
This is what I was going to say. Was then maybe if we're not going to that, there has to be a light and a dark,
right?
A balance.
Maybe Luke figured it out.
No. I'm saying is maybe the light only shows itself when it needs to.
That's what.
That's
why I said it was either dormant or
correct. That's what.
There you go.
That's what I was trying to say.
And whenever the evil rises, a new one's born.
Correct.
It has to grow up. Good. It has to right. Anakin grew up.
Right.
Rey grew up. Luke grew up. They all had to grow up. They came out powerful, but now they're gonna.
But is there an ending to this?
No. You know what? And I think there's the thing. If you can't destroy it, what do all movies do with bad guys? Or how does a movie usually start when they fuck up? The Mummy, even X-Men with Apocalypse. They wake up what was contained.
Right.
We need to contain the dark side.
Or if you're talking Hollywood, they reboot it. But go ahead. Sorry.
Or reboot it.
If this is what we're getting into, then I'm going to have
to
go with the theory of Luke becomes both. Luke absorbs Rey, and Luke absorbs Snoke, meaning that he's figured out a way to hold both.
Or he's figured this out, and he's like goes to Rey and says, "You have to go through this journey. I've already went through it, or whatever. Now you've got to become this light thing to destroy Snoke, and she has to rediscover it she has to discover it in herself and become this manifested light side to counteract."
I think he'd have to help her, though. I think this is more like if he
if
does the whole "I can't help you" thing like Obi-Wan did. I think Obi-Wan was wrong the whole time. That's what Luke's figured out from Qui-Gon's journal.
This does go completely opposite of like the traditional sense of the trilogy and just light and just guys using the Force for bad and Force for good or whatever. This really delves into a bigger, broader spectrum of the Force in general.
Yeah.
I still think our theory works out though with Leia, that she was dark and being forced to become dark because of this entity of the dark side needs help, needs people. And so we have the twins, which Luke was good, so you made Leia bad and we never knew it. And we'll see that also. And now because she died, that Snoke has revealed himself, we can kill off Leia. We don't need her no more. We have Kylo to take it over.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No. You can't. No, I'm sorry. It's not. You can't do that to Leia, who's been good this whole time. And I understand you guys have your theory, but like literally, like through this whole time, it's like I know that she's been through a lot that you guys explained through our podcasts. She's been through a lot.
Okay,
yes, I understand that. But she's been truly a good gal.
Bless her.
All in all, bless her heart.
Fanboy.
Stop it.
Fanboy. Today, John Boyega gave an interview she will be taken care of in this
Do you
episode
not
8.
think Carrie Fisher
There is
if-
no way that her
would-
story is going on or anything.
would
They're
be
ending her.
Do you not think she would be quite cool and kind of excited to end up being the mastermind behind the dark side?
Yes.
Yeah, she
Oh,
would.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
No, because she.
Fanboy Mike doesn't want
You
it to
think
happen.
Carrie
that's
Fisher's
why.
happy ass?
I
Think that was
explained.
badass?
Listen, guys, I explained. This is Fanboy Mike talking. I explained that I wouldn't mind that happening because I can see that being the big twist. But I have my theories on the big twist at the end, anyways. I mean,
It's not
we'll
your
go through
theory,
that
it's your
later.
Hopes.
Yeah.
Your hopes and your dreams.
So what would
Do not
happen
want it to
now
happen.
with this whole thing? Say if this was the case, what's Kylo's part?
He's turning good.
Well,
Is
He's
that
going to
the
end up
thing?
with Luke, and Rey's going to turn. And I understand, like, okay, so Leia has the issue with I can't think of the gal's name that she has the issue with another
Lord Jem's
general,
character that's is rumored
right?
to have, yeah.
Another general, and I explained this before. She has an issue with her, so Leia has to do what she has to do, and it seems dark, but it isn't. But Rey probably finds out a couple of things that Luke
Only
tells
Sith
her.
Dill and Absolute there, Mike.
Yeah, but Rey finds out something through Luke that she's not absolutely happy with. But she has to jam. Now she has to go take care of Snoke, or she has to find Kylo or whatever. And she's so
Sure.
So
well,
that
speaking of Kylo again, yeah, I'd like to go back to what Chris said. If this thing, what Chris said, was his theory. What is Kylo Ren's role in all this then?
Right.
Is he just the guy that's going through the motions of this? Like
Yeah, and here we had another comment today from Star Wars Warfare, right? And asked if Kylo is kind of, how all these movies are poetry and they rhyme and this, but what
Right.
if Kylo is going backwards? Look at Kylo's outfit in the
Here we
very
go.
beginning. We see him in the mask originally, right? He's
Right.
tattered too. His cape is tattered. Kind of wore out. His mask is scratched. This new, all the pictures we see now, that cape and that outfit is pretty
Pristine,
new.
yeah.
It's pristine. The cape is perfect. The mask, from what I've seen, isn't a scratched up mask.
And we did. We do have a shot of the smash. Maybe he's getting away
Cleaner.
from the mask, like he's
getting away from it or cleaner, by the end not using it.
Right.
And by episode 9, maybe he's full reversed, and he's now. I think we've all had the Kylo turning light back to Ben thing going in, or at least heard that or thought
Yeah.
about that.
That's been my theory
Maybe
all
that's the whole
along.
thing. Even this, we're gonna see him go from tattered to cleaner to good, and maybe save the whole damn day at the end.
Yeah.
Right. He has to take Rey out and
That's been my theory
Yeah.
the whole time. That he knew everything was going on. I've said that from the very first preview.
from Double Agent.
Before
you mean,
we
right?
even met you guys. I told these guys that day. I think that he is good. He's like a undercover agent for Luke.
Mhm.
Being the nephew, being the kid, this is what we have to do. Luke knew what was happening and has been guiding him. And I even love even more that we came up with the theory that Leia was evil.
Right.
Because now he has to somehow, his mom's been telling him what to do, and that's gone. I think Han knew. I'm still 100% saying that Han killed himself.
That he pulled it for him to help him
Exactly.
turn.
Well,
I said that from the beginning.
keep paying attention to the internet. They'll have you convinced.
We had good conversation this last week on there.
I've
about
said that
same
from the
thing,
beginning, though. I know. I've seen
Yeah.
it floating around. I'm like, that's what I said from the beginning. People laughed in my face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, watch it over and over again. He even has the shocked look, and then he touches his face after. Your son just killed you. You're not going to touch his face. I'm sorry. You're going to be shocked yourself. You're going to be whatever. He says, I can help you. He knows Han knows what needed to be done. He pulled the labor to him. He ignited it. He knew what had to be done.
And who sent
And that's
him,
it.
Mike?
And who know if Han picked up on the Leia thing as well. And that's why they weren't always together.
No, he didn't pick it up because Leia sent him there. He said, Leia knows
That's
what
true.
had to be done. Han didn't
I
know.
get that.
Well,
Leia knew, and he sent Han there to
But-
die.
well, no, Han took himself there. Remember,
That's
he
what
was
I'm
like,
saying.
"I'll get him there."
But Leia's the one who sent him there, knowing that
Yeah.
Kylo needed to kill him, and Han's
Oh.
the innocent
she
victim
hit
here.
the comm link up, and she was like, "Hey,
Kylo.
Kylo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's on the way. I need you to take care of him."
Benny boy, can
No, I
you...
mean take care of him.
Take
Yeah.
care of him.
No, I've said it from day one. I thought that Kylo is good all along. He's been playing. When he talks about Rey and the girl, because they knew who she was.
I'm certain.
I always said, though, that she was bad. That was my only thing that made it different.
Yeah.
Is that she was bad and they knew this, so they hit her.
See, I can't get
Yeah.
behind the Rey
No,
being bad.
I don't see that.
I
but
just-
No,
I
I
still
know.
think, and I did mention on
And-
one of those posts,
And then
Kylo's the one
that
took
Han
her.
killed himself.
Yeah,
no,
I can see
Kylo. No, I'm sorry. Kylo at the when he's talking to Darth Vader's entity, He's not talking to Darth Vader, but he's saying, I feel it again. I need to feel the dark side. He's not good at that point.
He's trying to turn
He's
bad.
possibly struggling. I can understand him possibly struggling, but he's not, like, that doesn't tell me that he's a double agent. Also, Han igniting the thing on himself, I don't see that either. Like, I can understand Kylo going back to Snoke and saying, hey, he's dead. Han's dead. But why? What was the big deal?
Because
between
it's part of the plan.
He had to kill his father.
What
He needs to
plan?
think that he's
they,
evil.
They need Luke. It's
When-
not about Han.
No, when he's talking to Kylo and Kylo's talking to Vader that I need to get back to the dark is because he has so much light in him. He has to know how do I prove to Snoke that I'm dark?
Or I'll finish.
That's
what
what I'm
you
saying.
started.
So
No, here.
Snoke.
What
was
did
the
Anakin
audience?
do? What was the last thing Anakin did? Last thing Anakin did. Vader.
Oh, the last thing he did?
Yeah. He killed Palpatine. Where did Palpatine go? Into Snoke. I'm going to
Okay,
finish
yeah.
what you started.
Yeah. Oh, but how does that even tie into Han? I mean, how does that tie into
Because
Han
you have
at
to
all?
kill the father
Because
in order
Snoke
to turn
needs
dark.
to know that he's correct.
Okay, I can understand that.
Because
but
what does he say
the
right
audience-
after that? He tells Hux, bring him. He's ready.
Right. Yeah. Well, he did say that. He did say, "Bring me Kylo. He's to finish his training."
To finish his
training.
training.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
he's proven himself.
Poor Mike. I feel
No,
like,
I don't
he
know.
hurt your
I think
feelings.
it's no, it's not that. I think it's more. I don't know. It's just, it's probably just more a convoluted.
Do me
This
a
is
favor,
just talk, man.
storytelling
This is just
than
talk.
anything.
You know. It's
My
Tonight-
talk is fine.
Tonight when you're by yourself, turn it on, try and put it on slow, and tell me if you don't see
some
Han
candles.
actually grab it and push it into himself.
He grabs it because he thinks that he's handing him the lightsaber to take it back to wherever.
Just listen to all the words and how it plays out. Clear your mind, and then tell me why I'm wrong.
Stop with your light side nonsense.
I'm a fanboy.
This
Fanboys-
remember, and all these theories come with on the heels of this is supposed to be the darkest movie, the biggest twist, and all that. And again, we talked about Disney shooting himself in the foot if they're saying these kind of things, and so that leaves it up to us and our imaginations to be like, all right, what is the biggest twist? What
it's
is the
wild.
darkest?
It's a lot of
So-
our line talk is wild, though. I mean, yes, we got a lot to back us, but I tend to believe that they tell stories that are based around everybody that's watching it. So it's the old and the young.
Yeah, but remember,
So
this
to
is a
tell-
second act.
I understand
so-
that, but to tell a story like that, like you got to get these kids on board too. So how are you to deliver that kind of a movie that we're expecting
Yeah.
to kids that are just starting to watch it?
The Last
Oh,
Jedi-
my kids are
10-year-olds.
twisted. They would
Well,
love it.
okay, so but that's because Darth Dad, you've been raising your kids on Star Wars since day one. I'm saying kids that are just
The
coming
Force
aboard.
Awakens was that movie to do that.
I'm-
The Last Jedi is the movie to be like,
Empire, look at
Just
what happened.
shake
to Empire.
it, shake it up.
And I get your point about convoluted storytelling, but remember, we're not $1 million story
No,
scriptwriters.
no, and
They'll
I-
take this story and clean it up.
Kitty Cat likes our stories. She's gonna
Oh,
go
yeah.
off of what we say.
scrap it.
And Darth
we
Dad's
got
writing
something
the next
new.
movie.
Right? Yeah.
On it.
She's been listening. Right now, she's laid up in her bed.
She's like, oh my
Big
god,
ass
that's a great
double-sized king
idea.
bed.
Yeah.
So
She's got her
they
Beats headphones
figured it
on.
out.
They
She
figured
really
it
likes
out.
So
Chris's
every
voice.
time we actually podcast, she's actually somebody that is listening, and so no, you guys got to scratch that. They
Yeah.
know too
They
much.
figured
Right
it
now.
out. They figured it
Yeah.
out. We've gone through 16
They got
rewrites.
too
with
much.
these
And then who's
Starlight
falling fed
Digest.
talking about
Yeah.
Han was behind? Han just gave himself up for the sacrifice of the good the
Did
whole
you
time.
hear what Chris said? She's on rewind right there. Yeah.
That the bug that we put in his house is working.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well that's interesting, and I like it. And like I said, I'm surprised you don't play SWTOR because it kind of goes in with that whole entity thing.
If I played that, I would never, ever get anything done.
Sure. Well,
I don't get anything done as it is.
as I know, and I know you read a lot too.
I do read.
So you know what? Why don't we go into a book review?
Oh, shit.
Why don't we go into a book review? You posted a lot of them lately. This past 2-3 weeks, our Chris here reads all the lore, all the new lore, and he posts a review up. So I think today we're going to do Dark Disciple. I know you read that.
Yeah.
You posted that a couple weeks back, maybe.
I think it was last week. But yeah, Dark Disciple was another badass book. We're going to go through, I think I'm 13 reviews deep on Instagram now. I'm just going to... Whoa. I'm redoing right now a New Dawn, and I got Ahsoka, and after that I will be canon complete as far as the novels go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Dark Disciple, it's a story of how do I explain it? Well, without spoiling too much, it's in the middle of the Clone Wars, okay, which is a great time in Star Wars mythology anyway. Okay. Between the Clone Wars cartoons, we got to meet a lot of characters, and but in this one, it's the Jedi Council is so distraught and so lost right now on how to get to Dooku because Dooku is just destroying the galaxy. Okay, so they're actually going to change their ways for a minute and do something unthinkable and send an assassin to go kill Dooku, and they have to use one of their own. Okay, so they use Quinlan Vos as going to be the assassin, and Quinlan Vos is like their loose cannon anyway. Okay, he's like Qui-Gon times 10 as far as loose cannon goes. But they're going to send him, and the other part of the plan is to hook him up with Asajj Ventress, who we met through the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And this, what a great combo.
To go kill her master.
Because she hates him, and that's what Obi-Wan says the whole time. And
we
and
had
Obi-Wan,
a comic book on this as well, didn't we?
I think it was old Legends.
Correct,
similar,
because
right.
there was a toy 2-pack that came exactly with Quinlan and them, so they kind of picked up from there. Huh?
It redid it. So a lot of this stuff does take pieces from old Legends, which is why I say some of this stuff with the Plagueis, the entity, all these things.
They got to pull the choose from. You know?
They pull stuff
they
from
have
it.
so much to look at. That's exactly what they're doing.
They just make
let's
it
pull
link.
a little here. Let's pull a little here.
It makes everybody happy. They'll bitch for a minute, but it is cool, and we'll do this and we'll do that. You know. But when it comes down to it, this book would actually be a great animated movie again, I think, or a super extra like Clone Wars movie, something like that. I don't want to spoil too much, but he basically becomes a double agent, almost a triple agent, quadruple agent. I don't know what the frick side he's on half the time, but Ventress has to teach him how to use the dark side. So we go through a whole lot of this find your middle, and Ventress has pretty much figured it out. Funny enough, Ventress says you need to give into the dark side, but not all the way. So if you go complete, you can't go complete dark.
Right.
You need to keep some of your good. And this is Asajj Ventress talking.
I like that.
I liked Asajj's character.
Me too.
I did, all the time.
Me too. And she was badass in this book. Their relationship, I mean, we go into one of those, damn, they're getting, really adult sometimes in these books and how these guys interact with each other. This is probably the only love story out of all the books I really didn't cringe at ever. I thought
it was
a
love story.
A little spoiler alert, but that's part of the thing. And remember, Jedi are forbidden.
He gets his bald on, huh?
And here we go. She's not bald anymore. She got a little bit of fuzz. She's got peach fuzz on top.
Is it like a landing strip or?
Well, that's chapter
Triangle?
17. You have to go in there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. It points.
Did you liked as Ventress, right? I mean,
of course he did.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, to me, she's one of like the Maul characters where she has nothing but hate and want to assassinate and everything. This is an interesting story that she's going to go after her old master, teaming up with the Jedi.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. What's your
she
take?
was like a wild cannon.
Yeah,
and
big time.
That's what you do when you want to assassinate or kill someone. You send a wild cannon that just doesn't give a shit, and yeah, why not?
And that's why it goes through her past a bit, and it talks about the Night Sisters and all these things, and her, her past and why she is the way she is, and how she was a Jedi and she was a Padawan, and they killed her master. And it goes through all of this stuff and how twisted she's almost got like a Leia background almost, so which you can see why she went all twisted.
Yeah. I like the
little less. Yeah. Leia had a worse upbringing, but
right.
They even went back to Dathomir and had training there for him because you know how jacked up it is there and how dark Dathomir is, and I won't give any more away, but it's really cool to watch. Even Voss, him deal with the dark side, the light, and his struggle is kind of mirroring, I think, where Kylo is going to be. Maybe reversed a little bit.
Were they trying to interact with each other and turn on each other through the book?
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally.
So basically, it's a story of balance.
Yeah.
Of balancing your light and dark.
Yep.
To take over. Not take over, but
influence.
To destroy the
dark. To destroy the dark.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do.
Like, obviously that's what Episode 8 is doing, to take off Snoke, and obviously this is what this story is doing.
Yeah, he even played that little bit of remember the Dark Empire comics?
Yeah,
where Luke went dark to kill that kind of thing.
Yeah, too. Right.
It goes a little bit that way, which we think is kind of what Kylo might be doing with Snoke. It has that kind of story in it.
That's what I think we were introduced to.
Yep.
From the beginning, and then that we'll just find it out.
Yep. So all in all, great book again, another fun read. I've only had a rough time with two reads. Really, is the first Aftermath book was tough.
Yeah.
And I know I catch a lot of shit for
Aftermath was really hard too for Dr. Dre. So I see why.
Damn it. But and then I had a problem with Twilight Company, but I know everybody loves that book. I figured it out what the problem was because I also read Inferno Squad came out last week, and I read that and did a review on that, and I love that book. So
I just messed up and I read the original Twilight. It was
Jeez.
totally wrong.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong
Well, I
one.
saw wolves and I was like, "Go Pablo!"
No,
It's got to be the
all
one.
right. And then I started reading and I got into it and I was like, "This is the wrong Twilight."
Damn it.
I wasn't going to
Yeah.
read Inferno
But-
Squad until I talked to you about
Read
it,
Inferno
honestly.
Squad because
okay.
I'm an Imperial. That's what it is. I didn't give a shit about the Rebels.
Sure.
Their little squad.
Now it's their
and
story.
Screw their little Twilight Company. When Inferno Squad comes in, I give a damn. I'm like, because they're Imperials. So that's why everything's dark. That's why all my theories are dark. F it. They should be.
All your theories are dark?
And my son's name is Luke. You would think it
You're
would be
right.
the opposite. But
Chris just wants him to fail.
no, you can't call the kid Darth or Vader or Anakin is just too off. He could call it Annie.
Yeah, you don't want that.
It's
yeah.
too much. So we went ahead and stuck with Luke. But
Nice.
but he may go dark, so who knows? Maybe I win.
Are you,
But I'm all about these
It's
dark
like the
things, right?
proudest
Even here,
moment for
the
Chris.
coolest part about this, even though it was it's a Jedi, right? He's dealing with a former Sith, and he's dealing with the dark side. That's why the book is great.
Right.
Great book.
So how many sabers out of 5 on this one?
What I give it?
Oh, would
I
you do
forget.
Padawan? You do
4.
Padawans, don't you?
I forgot I did on this one.
Slain Padawans? How many slain Padawan? 3?
Oh,
3,
so
4?
sad. 4. We'll call it 4 right now. I think that's what I put on the.
All right,
on
cool.
The,
Well, that actually does interest
Four
me.
sabers ignited.
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
interests me more on Dark Disciple because again, that's one other book where I just like, you read the premise and you're like, okay, that's cool as a filler read,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of us read the books to get more of the factual information that's going on our galactic timeline and plug
Yeah.
in those different theories and characters and
you're
whatnot.
going to get
so.
a touch from everything. And
Yeah.
this one is more hinted and a little more history on the way the
almost like a
Jedi
setup
Council.
getting
The
into-
Jedi Council had to turn on almost their own beliefs to send him, right? But you get a little tad on almost everything. Heir to the Jedi. I just did that one too again. Reread that and did a review on it. And that one has little bits of Luke's training. Doesn't give you much about the lore, but it tells you how he learns about the lightsaber. He gets one from a Rhodian Jedi who had passed away, and he wanted to see the body, and they took him to it. And all he wanted to see. Remember, this is after the first Death Star.
Yeah.
He's all, well, I saw Obi-Wan, and it's written in first person. I saw Obi-Wan disappear when he died. So do all Jedi do that? And they open the crypt, and there's a Jedi in there. He's all, no, you don't. Damn.
I gotcha.
They give him the lightsaber, and he opens that up and realizes that there's no way you can do it by hand. It has to be created with the Force. The way things are balanced and put into places, there's no way to do it with tools or hand.
Mm-hmm.
Cool things like that. And then get this. Okay, I know we just jumped books here.
That's
to Heir to
okay.
the Jedi.
That's fine.
But one of the coolest parts was a scene where a chapter where he's talking about Darth Vader, and saying how he has to defeat him and not kill him. And she's asking, why wouldn't you just kill him? He's all, well, he's the only person in the galaxy that understands what I'm going through. I have something to learn from him.
Right.
And I need to talk to this evil person that killed my father because he's the only person that knows what I'm going through. So how twisted is that, really? So those are some of the cool parts about that book. You get little nuggets on each book, except really I didn't get much out of Aftermath. I didn't get anything out of Twilight Company.
Aftermath still bugs me, except for the last 2-3 chapters of the 3 that you really get into like the new era of the First Order stuff that we're into now with the movies.
Right.
That's the only thing I think Bloodline kind of led up to it, but
Bloodline is probably the best one it is obviously the best one
Yeah.
for The Force Awakens because it's the
Yeah.
only thing close to it. It's a decade off, but it's the only thing really written
yeah.
besides Aftermath that talks a little bit about it and ends at Jakku and that kind of thing. Really, Bloodline's the only thing we have right now, a little bit of prequel of Force Awakens in the new trilogy.
Sure.
Mike, you're dying over here. What was it?
No, I was just gonna. I mean, like everyone, this was going back to how the flow of the shows go. Everybody's dark here except me. I mean, it's like when it comes to like everyone talking about the dark side, we can go through the whole thing. Everybody would pick the Imperials of the dark side. I mean, Vader's my
it's
most
just the
favorite
way it
character.
is.
I
I mean,
get it, but in the end,
I don't.
we all
Shit ain't
need
rainbows, dude.
We all
We gotta,
need, I
you know.
know, but we all need the light.
No, Mike.
side.
I think what it is I understand
with
what you're
the
saying.
gray,
Yeah.
with the gray, there's a balance, and I'm an advocate for balance, being balanced. I don't think you need to be 100% one way or the other. I think I'm an advocate for being balanced. So the gray is very intriguing to me when it comes to the Jedi's or whatever. But when it comes to everybody that's spoken here, I mean, everybody is kind of really for the Imperials.
We
the dark
all
side.
love the uniforms and logos and everything of the
No,
Imperials,
it's
and-
not. I mean, it's very it's alluring to and how their
Well-
look is to be super bad or
Right.
you have all these dope powers.
I'll
whatever
bring,
it
I'll
is,
bring
but-
this up. This is a. It might be.
I don't
like
mean to
one
get
of those-
offline talk,
No,
guys,
that's
but
perfect.
yeah.
It might be more of a psychological thing. It's when you read the end of a story. Say, for example, Episode 9 comes out and there's fireworks in the sky. Well, okay, actually, I can use Return of the Jedi. The fireworks in the sky,
Right.
everything's done. You kind of get when you're that emotionally invested into the story. You kind of get almost like a letdown at the end.
Why?
Because everything's good now. Everything's fine. Yes, you wanted your heroes to they saved the day.
But what happened
and
to the
everything.
bad guys?
But the meat of the story, when everybody was enthralled in it and it was a sense of urgency, is when the Empire was taken over.
That's
and the
because
Jedis
there
were
was
dying.
something going on for you
Exactly.
to be involved
So-
with.
But that's what we all cater to and we get drawn toward, the meat of the story. So, like, if you
man.
go with this new
No,
trilogy, you got the Force Awakens, where it just introduces this whole new way of the First Order and the new characters. This movie that's coming out, this one is the most important because, of course, it sets up the grand finale, the celebration at the end. But you're going to get the darkest. You're going to get
Yes,
the meat of
no.
everything. And now when it's over, it's almost like, oh, okay, now what do? We just
Right?
sit
No,
around and
because then
cook?
our stories are done, or because we, it's like when women. I'm not saying women
Whoa.
just in general watch their shows
I
or
don't
their soap
go
operas,
ahead.
but when it's over, it's like, what am I doing now? So I guess I can call Margie and we can start talking. But going back to Star Wars,
Who's
when
Marjorie?
I'm just saying,
Oh.
I'm just making up a name. when you're actually watching
It sounded real.
when you're
took it real.
watching the show when it's going on and
Yeah.
and good and evil are going on, you're invested because you're watching this or you're seeing it happen. But when it goes back to the light, it's like, oh, okay, well, what are we going now?
Well,
and,
again-
then you're definitely turned off, and so it's like you need these two things happening.
You
at
need them
once.
happening again. If everything was light, then you wouldn't have a story.
Right,
You were
you wouldn't
like,
have a story.
that's gonna
I
suck.
think that's some of the things with some of these fit to my favorite books in here, like Dark Disciple. Obviously, doesn't have a great ending because we know what time frame it takes place in, right?
Right.
So you're not going to have a great ending. Inferno Squad, the entire book, I was waiting for this. There's four people on a their deep cover. Okay, going through, and they get really close to people, so you're always waiting for this certain twist that's obviously going to happen,
Right.
and it doesn't really.
It doesn't
happen.
pay off. There's
And
no
you're
payoff.
like, no,
Pay
it was
off.
great because I'm like, they're going to pull
Oh.
this bullshit, happy-go-lucky, I love you, blah 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 nonsense, and it never worked out that way. And at the end when it's still Imperial, I'm like,
Right.
oh, good for them.
Well,
yay,
and books are a hard sell because what did they try in the old EU? They go, hey, guess what? We're going to make a book that Chewbacca's going to die in this book. The world went, the Star Wars world took a shit. They did.
Right.
They said, oh, they're up in arms, and of course, it's the way he died, and the fact that he died. So it's almost like it's a tough balance to get so far into the books as like like I said, if Han Solo's death was in the books, not in the movies. It's a hard sell for fans.
For sure.
So they wait for the big moments in the movies and cartoons and whatnot, and maybe not even cartoons, but movies definitely.
Yeah.
The big payoffs. So you're gonna get these little payoffs, like when I was reading Darth Maul back in the EU, and when Darth Maul was sent out to go kill, it wasn't Qui-Gon, but it was another Jedi. You know that Jedi is gonna die because they didn't know about Darth Maul before. So again,
So
it
you
was
knew he was gonna
yeah.
die,
So
yeah.
it's like it's very predictable in books when you read it. You're not going to get those payoffs.
And it hasn't been a lot in these, and that's what's been kind of cool.
Right.
Is you're getting a little bit different than what you expected.
They're all preludes, obviously. We know that. I mean, unless it's a story that's going into
They're
something
all
we
leading
already
up
know,
to-
then it's all
yeah.
the
Yeah.
preludes to leading up to. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
and a lot
yeah.
of their preludes in the beginning of the book talk about the balance, the gray, there's so many things that have obviously this whole story team has gone through, and P. Hitty and the whole story group
Right,
have
right.
all have worked this out, and it's insane to look at it. And I know again everybody in the Legends and the old EU, and I loved it too, guys, but this was the best thing they could have done.
I agree, 100% agree. You gotta reboot it. I guess that's a harsh term, but this is a reboot. It's
Pretty
a good
much.
one.
Of the
I
EU.
agree. Let's do this. Let's get a final round of Snoke theories, since this is a heavy Snoke.
The Snoking section.
We're gonna get
We're
the
going to
Snoking
go
section.
secondhand Snoke now.
So yeah, exactly.
All right.
Secondhand Snoke. So final thoughts on just whatever. Like I said, we got those leaked photos of Snoke now, and the world went wild. That's why everybody's come up with new and interesting theories and ideas, and I think we've got a good one here. I think Chris came it up and put it on the table, and again, it is turning the Star Wars world upside down, and the fact that of how we knew it to where it's going. So final thoughts. Let's go around the room. Let's go. this way. Chris, final thoughts on
I
Snoke.
think I've gone ahead and dropped just about everything I could possibly drop on Snoke, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to come out in 8. I think that's what's going to piss us all off. It's going to
The big
wait
build up
until
again?
9. Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of Kylo, a little bit of Rey, a lot of Luke, and some Knights of Ren. I think stuff, but I don't think we're going to get heavy Snoke.
Okay, Joey.
Snoke's a golden girl.
It's Salacious Crumb's grandchild.
No, but I am gonna get off topic because I didn't get my little input in on the books.
Shoot it.
Okay.
You guys talk about the books being preludes and being something that it's gonna add up to.
Sure.
If you read Bloodlines, it kind of does add up to the theory of Leia turning bad.
Oh, I know. That's my
Because
whole premise.
She just gets shitted on the whole book. She's getting shit on by the politicians, by you name it, dude. I think Han Solo's probably her only friend and her her co-pilot.
And he may be her friend, but he's gone, right? He leaves her all the time.
So it's like, if you read that book, and especially the last couple of chapters, it's almost like you're saying, I don't blame her if she does turn dark because of all the shit that she's going through in this book. So, anywho, Snoke, I think he is, as much as I don't want to say it, I think he's his own character. Is he Darth Plagueis' demon? Hopefully. I would like it. Because, I mean, the whole thing of it being an entity, when an entity possesses, and let's call it what it is, it's a possession.
Right.
When it possesses you, it distorts you, it changes your voice, changes your thinking, changes your appearance. And obviously, he was a human being probably before because he has the features of a human being, but now he just looks like a walking meatloaf.
Right.
So, I honestly think, personally, I think either he's his own person, or he is Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, I concur with that. I think that he was his own person at one point, or somebody that was dabbling possibly in the dark side. But that just gave the entity or the spirit or whatever to go ahead and take over this one person that was probably dabbling a little bit. He might have some sort of a history with Jedis and lords or whatnot. But we'll see. I'm sure it'll probably tell the end story in 9. I'm thinking we're only going to see Snoke once or twice. We're going to see a lot more of the Knights of Ren, hopefully, and possibly see more Kylo and more of that stuff. But I don't think we're going to see Snoke that much. And again, I like the idea that Chris was going with as far as there being an entity that's flowed maybe from Bane all the way from the Plagueis to Sidious to where we're at now. So,
Fallen Fed, final thoughts.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors.
Snoke and mirrors.
It's going to be.
He's being
Snoke
controlled by
screen.
somebody.
Yeah, it's sad to say that I think he is his own person. As much as I want Rebels to keep playing into this movie, I want to see Sabine somewhere. I want to see Ezra somewhere showing up in the movies, but the more and more that we get closer to it and theories divulge and everything, that it's getting away from it, that kind of sucks. So I get that he could be his own. But my question to you guys then is, if he's his own, so we've had Palpatine, who was revealed as Darth Sidious. We had Darth Plagueis, everybody else, Darth Vader, okay, movie-wise then, let's just say that. That's what was mentioned there. Darth Tyrannus. So if all we've gotten is Snoke, what do you think his Darth name is then?
Right. I don't know.
Darth Victor.
Darth Victor. I don't know.
I don't know.
The Darth Ultimate.
Darth
Guess if
Theodore.
he's gonna
Or there are no Sith anymore, and they don't do the Darth name
I mean,
anymore.
they're
He
using
doesn't
Ren.
even use Darth.
Instead of
No.
Sith, they're using Ren.
He,
right? So it could be.
They realize it's
He is
it's
supreme
flawed
leader. So
Snoke Ren.
yeah, I mean, well, he's the Knights of Ren. Then who's Ren?
I think they'll just call him Dark.
What?
Dark Snoke,
Well,
Snokey,
yeah,
the
my
bear,
my
Snokey
final
and the
thoughts
bandit.
before we
Smokey the Bear?
yeah we
Yes.
go into
If you can pay attention, please. The no smoking sign has come up, and Moocher would like to end this.
Thank you.
Is that
Um,
snoking or non-snoking, sir?
Yeah. My first thought when Snoke was introduced was that's Plagueis, and I want him to be Plagueis, right? But on the other hand, I want him to be some kind of brand new character, which I think is brand new altogether, which still coincides to your theory.
I think that's the combo of both of them.
Yeah,
right.
The entity thing, I'm in there. I'm in with you with that because that, like I said, playing the games and stuff, and the games do go into that direction, even though that's not canon. But a perfect way to bring that game into canon, which everybody who plays wants that to happen because there's going to serve a purpose. So with that, I think that we're going to wrap it up. Mike, take us home.
I'm all over the IG.
Okay.
Listen, guys. Again, we want to send an appreciation shout out to everybody that's followed us. We're near 600, and you guys keep up the good work. Tell a friend and listen to us on your way to work, or if you're at home chilling and hanging out. So hey, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes, and find us on the RLU. That's Raw Live Unedited. Check out bootleg_Joe760 for fig posing. Also, Fallen Fed and Toy Migos for all things figs. And also check out rawlivepod.com for more shows. I mean, it's a great. What would you say? It's a network of shows that are going on. They got great podcasts on there. I mean, spanning everything nerdism to everything that you guys love. So hey, we appreciate you guys listening. Give us more feedback, more comments, more likes.
Keep it coming.
Those things, like I said, we shouted you guys out on the show. You guys leaving us comments are very important to us. We hit you as soon as we can. It's usually within that hour. Or if you hit us at 12 o'clock at night, we'll probably hit you in the morning. But anyways, guys,
well, I've been hitting them back at 12.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Darth Dad's all over that. Much love, you guys. We appreciate that.
Oh.
Hey, DM
Joey.
us. Be sure to DM us too. We'll get you. We'll get you
Yeah,
there.
direct messages, especially the direct messages that's happening all the way from England. You guys, I mean, we're getting hits
New York,
all over
England.
the place. New York,
It's been badass, guys.
yeah,
It's really
you
been
guys
awesome.
are showing much love, much appreciation. You guys, we love you. We thank you for giving us a listen and make us your number one place to find Star Wars information. Peace.
The Sarlacc Digest is in no way affiliated with Lucasfilm or Disney. We talk Star Wars, we live Star Wars, we breathe Star Wars. But the trademarks are properties of the respective owners, etc., etc. So, you lose! Good day, sir! I said good day!